Hello there, and welcome to a journey through the most profound mysteries that science has yet to unravel. Tonight, we drift together into the quiet spaces between what we know and what remains beautifully, mysteriously unknown. As you settle into comfort, let your mind wander through questions that have puzzled the greatest thinkers of our time, riddles that whisper at the edges of human understanding. Imagine this. At this very moment, as you listen to these words, your brain is performing feats that science cannot fully explain. Billions of neurons are firing in patterns so complex that we've barely begun to map them, creating the very experience of your consciousness, your sense of self, your ability to wonder about the universe. And yet, how this happens, why it happens, remains one of the deepest mysteries we face. Tonight, we'll explore 100 such mysteries, each one a doorway into wonder. Some exist in the vast reaches of space, where dark forces shape galaxies in ways we cannot see. Others hide in the microscopic realm of quantum particles that seem to exist in multiple states at once. Still others emerge from the intricate biology of our own bodies, processes so fundamental to life that we take them for granted, never realizing how little we truly understand. These are not failures of science, but invitations to marvel. They remind us that, for all our knowledge, for all our technology and theories, the universe still holds secrets that dance just beyond our reach. And perhaps that's exactly as it should be. Perhaps mystery is not something to be conquered, but something to be savoured, like the gentle darkness that embraces us as we prepare for sleep. So let your breathing slow, your thoughts soften, and allow yourself to drift through these cosmic puzzles. Each mystery we encounter tonight will be like a star in the darkness, beautiful to contemplate, peaceful to consider, and endlessly fascinating to explore. We begin our journey in the realm of the invisible, where the very fabric of our universe is woven from materials we cannot see, touch, or directly detect. This is the mystery of dark matter and dark energy, two enigmatic forces that together comprise 95% of everything that exists. Picture the universe as a vast ocean, and everything we can observe, every star, planet, and galaxy, as merely the foam on its surface. The ocean itself remains hidden from our view, yet it shapes every wave, every current, every movement of the foam above. This invisible ocean is dark matter and dark energy, and without it, nothing we see would exist. Dark matter acts as invisible scaffolding throughout the cosmos. It doesn't shine, doesn't reflect light, doesn't interact with ordinary matter in ways we can easily detect. Yet its gravitational influence holds galaxies together, shapes the large-scale structure of the universe, and creates the cosmic web along which all matter flows. Without dark matter, galaxies would fly apart, stars would scatter into the void, and the universe would be a cold, empty expanse. Even stranger is dark energy, a mysterious force that pushes space itself apart, causing the expansion of the universe to accelerate. Imagine space as a balloon being inflated, but instead of someone blowing air into it, the balloon inflates itself faster and faster, driven by some unknown energy that permeates every cubic centimetre of existence. Recent observations have hinted that dark energy might be changing over time, weakening as the universe ages. If confirmed, this discovery would revolutionise our understanding of reality itself. The cosmos might not expand forever, as we once thought. The future of everything might be written in the behaviour of this invisible force we can barely comprehend. Think about this as you rest. The chair you're sitting in, the air you breathe, the planet beneath you, all of it exists within an ocean of mystery. We are like deep-sea creatures who have just discovered that the ocean exists, still learning what it means to swim in something so vast and incomprehensible. From the cosmic scale, we turn inward to perhaps the most intimate mystery of all, consciousness itself. Right now, as you listen to these words, something extraordinary is happening inside your skull. Billions of neurons, each no more than a tiny biological switch, are firing in patterns that somehow create your inner world, your sense of being you. How does the soft grey matter of your brain generate the rich tapestry of your experience? How do electrical impulses become thoughts, emotions, memories, dreams? This is what philosophers call the hard problem of consciousness, and it remains as mysterious today as it was when humans first began to wonder about the nature of their own minds. Consider the miracle of this moment. Photons of light are striking your retina, triggering chemical reactions that send electrical signals along your optic nerve. Somehow your brain transforms these signals into the visual experience of reading, complete with meaning, understanding, and emotional response. But how? At what point do neural firings become the felt experience of seeing, of knowing, of being? Recent experiments have begun to probe the boundaries of consciousness, testing competing theories about how awareness emerges from the complexity of neural networks. Some scientists propose that consciousness arises when information becomes integrated across different regions of the brain. Others suggest it emerges from global patterns of neural activity that sweep across the mind like waves across an ocean. But perhaps the deepest mystery lies in the quantum realm. Some researchers have discovered evidence suggesting that the microtubules within our neurons might operate according to quantum principles, creating a bridge between the microscopic world of quantum mechanics and the macroscopic world of human experience. If true, consciousness might be fundamentally quantum in nature, connected to the strange, non-local properties that govern particles at the smallest scales. This raises profound questions. If consciousness involves quantum processes, might our minds be connected to the universe in ways we never imagined? Could the observer effect in quantum mechanics, where particles seem to exist in multiple states until observed, be related to the role consciousness plays in collapsing these possibilities into definite reality? As you drift towards sleep tonight, consider that your fading consciousness might be settling into quantum states we don't yet understand, weaving dreams from the same mysterious processes that weave reality itself. Where did life come from? This question has puzzled humanity since we first developed the capacity to wonder. Yet despite decades of research, the origin of life remains shrouded in mystery. How did non-living chemicals arrange themselves into the first living cells? How did the intricate dance of DNA, RNA, and proteins begin? The challenge is profound. Life requires a complex system of interdependent parts. DNA stores information, but it needs proteins to function. Proteins carry out cellular processes, but they need DNA to encode their instructions. RNA serves as a messenger between them, but it requires both DNA and proteins to be produced. It's like a lock that needs its own key to be made, a paradox that seems to defy simple explanation. Recent discoveries have offered tantalizing clues. Scientists have found that the basic building blocks of life, amino acids, and other organic compounds, can form spontaneously in the spray of water droplets, perhaps in the mist of ancient waterfalls, or the foam of primordial oceans. They've created artificial cells that can grow and divide, and they've discovered that some RNA molecules can catalyze their own replication. Yet for all these advances, we still don't know how the first living cell emerged from the chemistry of the early Earth. Was it a gradual process, with increasingly complex molecules slowly organizing themselves into life? Or was there a sudden leap, a moment when chemistry became biology through some process we haven't yet discovered? The mystery deepens when we consider the precise conditions that seem necessary for life. The early Earth had to have just the right temperature, the right atmospheric composition, the right chemical ingredients. Too hot and complex molecules would break apart. Too cold and chemical reactions would be too slow. The window, here we are. Some scientists propose that life might have begun for life's emergence, appears remarkably narrow, yet not in warm ponds on Earth's surface, but in the deep-sea hydrothermal vents, where mineral-rich water provides energy and protection from the harsh conditions of the early Earth. Others suggest that the building blocks of life might have arrived. As you rest tonight, imagine the ancient Earth, ad from space, carried by meteorites and comets from distant regions of the galaxy world of steaming seas and volcanic landscapes, where somewhere in the darkness the first spark of life was kindling. That spark lives on in every cell of your body, carrying within it the memory of that original mystery. We descend now into the strange existence. Particles don't follow the rules we expect understanding. At the smallest scales of, they can exist in multiple states simultaneously. A peer problem stands at the heart of quantum mystery, according their behavior simply by being observed. The measurements influence each other instantly across vast distances and seem to change a ghostly state where they have all possible properties. To quantum mechanics, particles exist in what's called superposition, wise or counterclockwise. It spins both once. An electron doesn't just spin clockwise until someone measures it. A particle doesn't just exist in one location, it exists everywhere. But how and why does measurement cause this? It could possibly be until observation forces it to choose. Collapse? What defines a measurement? Is it the interaction with moments a conscious observer becomes aware of the result, a detector, the recording of data, or some interpretations suggest that consciousness itself plays a fundamental role in shaping reality, that the act of observation literally creates the world we experience. The implications are staggering. If consciousness collapses quantum states, then mind and matter are intimately connected at the most fundamental level. The boundary between observer and observed, between mind and world, might be far more fluid than we ever imagined. Consider when two particles become entangled, they remain connected in a way that transcends space and time phenomenon of quantum entanglement, which Einstein famously called spooky action at a distance. Measure one particle, and you instantly know the state of its partner, no matter how far apart they are. This connection appears to be instantaneous, faster than light. Proposed that quantum effects might play a role in biological, challenging our understanding of causality itself. Some researchers have processes. From photosynthesis we are quantum beings living in a quantum universe, connecting of consciousness in human brains. If true, plants to navigation in birds, to the very mechanisms to the cosmos, in ways we are only beginning to glimpse of approaching sleep. Consider that the atoms in your body. See, as your mind settles into the quiet rhythm, the neurons in your brain might be dancing to quantum music, participating in the same mysterious choreography that governs stars and galaxies. Here we encounter one of the most fundamental puzzles about why anything exists at all, the mystery of matter and antimatter. According to our best theories, the Big Bang should have created equal amounts of matter and antimatter. These opposites should have annihilated each other completely, leaving behind nothing but pure energy in an empty universe. Yet here we are, surrounded by matter, breathing it, made of it, swimming in a cosmos rich with stars and planets and life. Somehow there was a tiny excess of matter over antimatter, perhaps just one extra matter particle for every billion pairs that annihilated. This minuscule imbalance allowed our universe to exist. But why did this asymmetry occur? What broke the perfect symmetry between matter and antimatter in the first moments after creation? Scientists have discovered that certain rare particles can violate the laws of symmetry in subtle ways, but these violations are far too small to account for the matter-dominated universe we observe. The mystery suggests that our understanding of the fundamental laws of physics is incomplete. There must be unknown processes, hidden mechanisms that tip the balance in favor of matter during the universe's first fraction of a second. Without these processes, without this mysterious asymmetry, none of us would be here to contemplate the question. Think of it this way. Every atom in your body is a survivor of the greatest catastrophe in cosmic history, the annihilation of matter and antimatter that should have left the universe empty and dark. You are made of the tiny remnant that escaped destruction, the precious few particles that somehow avoided their antimatter twins. This mystery connects to others we've explored. Perhaps the same quantum processes that create consciousness also played a role in the matter-antimatter asymmetry. Perhaps the observer effect that collapses quantum states was somehow present even in the first moments after the Big Bang, shaping the fundamental structure of reality. As you drift deeper into rest, imagine yourself as part of this cosmic story, a collection of atoms that have traveled through space and time, survivors of the universe's birth, now gathered together to create the miracle of your existence, your awareness, your capacity to wonder about these profound mysteries that surround us like a gentle, infinite night. The questions continue to whisper in the darkness, each one a doorway to deeper wonder. In our next exploration, we'll venture into the mysteries that hide within the everyday world around us. Phenomena so familiar, we hardly notice them, yet so strange that science still cannot fully explain their secrets. As we continue our gentle journey through the unknown, we turn to phenomena so close to us that we experience them daily, yet so mysterious that science still struggles to explain their deeper nature. These are the puzzles that live in the space between the familiar and the impossible, reminding us that wonder exists not just in distant galaxies, but in the very air we breathe. Consider the simple act of breathing as you rest here now. With each inhalation, you draw in not just oxygen, but one of science's most enduring mysteries, the phenomenon of sonoluminescence. When sound waves pass through water, they create tiny bubbles that collapse with such violence they emit flashes of light lasting mere trillionths of a second. These microscopic implosions generate temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun, yet they occur in ordinary water under everyday conditions. Scientists can observe this phenomenon, measure it, photograph the light it produces, but they cannot fully explain what causes it. Is it tiny nuclear fusion reactions occurring in your kitchen sink? Electrical discharges smaller than atoms? The compression of gases into states we've never seen? The mystery persists, a reminder that even the simplest interactions between matter and energy can harbour secrets that dance beyond our understanding. This puzzle connects to something even more extraordinary that may be flowing through your body right now. Every second, trillions of neutrinos pass through you, ghostly particles born in the heart of stars, carrying messages from nuclear reactions occurring millions of miles away. They slip through your skin, your bones, your brain, as if you were made of empty space, yet they represent one of the universe's most abundant forms of matter. These cosmic messengers are so elusive that a neutrino could travel through a wall of lead stretching from Earth to the nearest star and emerge unchanged. Yet somehow, in the quantum dance of your neurons, in the delicate chemistry of consciousness, your brain creates the rich tapestry of your inner experience while being constantly bathed in this invisible river of particles from space. The mystery deepens when we consider that your body itself is a collection of atoms that were forged in stellar furnaces, scattered across the galaxy, and somehow gathered here in this moment to create the temporary miracle of your existence. The iron in your blood was born in the death throes of ancient stars. The calcium in your bones crystallized in stellar cores billions of years ago. You are quite literally made of stardust, yet science cannot fully explain how these scattered atoms learn to organize themselves into the complex conscious being that you are. Time flows around us like an invisible river, carrying us from past to future in a current we can feel but cannot see. Yet time itself remains one of science's most perplexing mysteries. What is this dimension that seems so fundamental to existence? Why does it flow in only one direction? And why do we experience it so differently in various states of consciousness? As you settle deeper into rest, your perception of time begins to shift. Minutes might feel like hours, or hours might pass in what seems like moments. This altered relationship with time during the transition to sleep hints at deeper mysteries about the nature of temporal experience. Your brain constructs your sense of time moment by moment, weaving together memory, perception, and expectation into the flowing narrative of now. But time behaves strangely at the quantum level. Particles can seem to influence each other instantaneously across vast distances, suggesting that at the deepest level of reality, the familiar flow of time might be an illusion. Some physicists propose that time doesn't flow at all, but rather that all moments, past, present, and future, exist simultaneously in what they call the block universe. If this is true, then the moment of your birth, this peaceful instant as you listen to these words, and all the days of your future exist together in an eternal now. The flow of time would be like the beam of a flashlight moving across a landscape that already exists complete, illuminating different portions in sequence, but not creating them. This perspective offers a strange comfort. Every moment of joy you've experienced still exists somewhere in the architecture of space-time. Every person you've loved continues to live in the eternal landscape of the block universe. The boundaries between past, present, and future become as fluid as the boundaries between dreaming and waking. Yet even this view leaves mysteries unsolved. Why do we remember the past but not the future? Why does entropy increase, creating an arrow of time that points from order to disorder? Why does consciousness seem to surf along the moving boundary between the fixed past and the uncertain future? Some researchers suggest that time itself might be emergent, arising from more fundamental processes like the entanglement of quantum particles. As the universe evolves, quantum systems become increasingly entangled with their environments, creating the psychological experience of temporal flow. In this view, time is not a feature of reality itself, but a byproduct of how conscious beings interact with the quantum world. Beneath the ocean floors of our planet lie mysteries that rival any we might find in the depths of space. Scientists have recently discovered vast reservoirs of fresh water hidden beneath the seafloor, aquifers that stretch for hundreds of miles under the Atlantic Ocean. These underwater rivers and lakes have remained fresh for thousands of years, fed by ancient glacial meltwater and slow underground currents we're only beginning to understand. The existence of these hidden waters challenges our understanding of Earth's water cycle and raises profound questions about the planet's history. How did these freshwater reserves form? How long can they survive surrounded by salt water? What other secrets might be hidden in the dark spaces beneath the ocean floor? These discoveries remind us that our planet still holds mysteries in its most familiar places. Just as we've found that the human body harbours more microbial cells than human cells, creating a complex ecosystem we're only beginning to map, we're discovering that Earth itself contains hidden worlds within worlds, layers of complexity that extend far beyond what we can see on the surface. The mystery of these submarine aquifers connects to broader questions about water on Earth and throughout the universe. Water seems to be abundant in the cosmos, found in the ice of distant moons, the clouds of Venus, and the polar caps of Mars. Yet we still don't fully understand how water behaves under extreme conditions, why it sometimes exhibits the strange Mpemba effect, where hot water freezes faster than cold, or how it manages to support the incredible diversity of life we see on Earth. Consider that, as you rest here, your body is roughly 60% water, the same substance that fills these hidden ocean reservoirs, that cycles through clouds and rain, that exists as ice on distant worlds. The water molecules in your cells have travelled through countless cycles, perhaps once floating in ancient seas, falling as rain on primordial forests, or locked in polar ice for millennia. This water carries within it the memory of Earth's history, and perhaps the seeds of its future. Some scientists propose that water itself might have properties we don't yet understand. that it might be capable of storing information, of maintaining structures that persist long after the forces that created them have faded. All around you, invisible fields pulse and flow, carrying information, energy, and forces that shape every aspect of your existence. These electromagnetic fields permeate every space, from the powerful magnetic field that shields Earth from cosmic radiation to the delicate electrical patterns that create the thoughts flowing through your mind right now. Yet science still cannot fully explain one of the most fundamental electromagnetic phenomena, ball lightning. For centuries, witnesses have reported seeing glowing spheres of light that appear during thunderstorms, float through the air, and sometimes pass through solid walls like windows or doors. These mysterious orbs supposedly last for seconds or minutes before vanishing, sometimes exploding, sometimes simply fading away. Despite thousands of eyewitness accounts, ball lightning remains poorly understood because it's so rare and unpredictable. Scientists have proposed theories involving plasma physics, microwave radiation, and exotic forms of matter, but none fully explain all the reported characteristics. Some researchers have managed to create ball lightning-like phenomena in laboratories, but these artificial versions don't match all the properties described by witnesses. The mystery of ball lightning illustrates how even the most familiar forces in nature can harbour secrets. Electricity and magnetism seem straightforward, governed by well-understood equations, yet they can create phenomena that dance at the edges of possibility, reminding us that the universe still has surprises hidden in its most basic operations. This connects to larger mysteries about the electromagnetic fields that surround and permeate your body. Your heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond your skin. Your brain produces electrical patterns that can be detected by sensitive instruments. Some researchers have proposed that these bioelectric fields might play roles in consciousness, healing, and even telepathic communication that we don't yet understand. As you drift deeper into rest, these fields continue their invisible work, maintaining the electrical gradients across cell membranes that keep you alive, generating the neural oscillations that will soon carry you into dreams. You exist within a web of electromagnetic relationships that connect you to every device in your home, every lightning flash, in distant storms, and even the magnetic field of the Earth itself. Even the simple act of movement harbours secrets that science struggles to explain. Consider the mystery of why some materials become superconductors, losing all electrical resistance when cooled to certain temperatures, while others do not. In superconductors, electrons form pairs that can flow without any energy loss, creating currents that can persist for years without any external power source. This phenomenon enables magnetic levitation, where objects float in mid-air suspended by magnetic fields, defying gravity in ways that seem almost magical. Yet despite decades of research, scientists cannot predict which materials will become superconductors or fully explain the quantum mechanisms that allow electron pairs to move through matter without resistance. The mystery deepens with the discovery of high-temperature superconductors, materials that exhibit this strange behavior at temperatures far higher than theory predicted. These discoveries have revolutionized technology, but they've also revealed how much we still don't understand about the quantum nature of matter and the forces that govern electron behavior. This puzzle connects to broader mysteries about motion and inertia. Why do objects in motion tend to stay in motion? Why does matter resist changes in its state of movement? These questions seem simple, but they touch on fundamental aspects of space-time and the nature of mass that we're still exploring. Some physicists propose that inertia itself might be a result of interactions with the quantum vacuum, the seething sea of virtual particles that fills all of space. In this view, the resistance you feel when trying to accelerate an object comes from its interaction with this invisible quantum foam, connecting the most everyday experiences of motion to the deepest levels of reality. As your breathing slows and your muscles relax, you're experiencing these mysteries firsthand. the electrical signals flowing through your nervous system, the quantum processes enabling the chemistry of life, the gravitational field that keeps you gently pressed against your resting place, all represent phenomena that science can describe but cannot fully explain. The questions continue to whisper in the darkness around us, each one a doorway to deeper understanding. In the chapters that follow, we'll explore the mysteries that emerge when life encounters the cosmos, when biology meets astronomy, and when the story of consciousness intersects with the vast narrative of universal evolution. The journey into wonder continues, carrying us ever deeper into the beautiful unknown. As we drift deeper into our exploration of the unknown, we encounter mysteries that bridge the gap between life and cosmos, between the familiar stirrings of consciousness on Earth and the possibility that awareness might exist in forms we've never imagined. The question whispers softly through the darkness. Are we alone in our capacity to wonder, to dream, to experience the universe from within? Recent discoveries have revealed that the building blocks of life exist throughout the cosmos. Complex organic molecules drift through the vast spaces between stars, carried on currents of radiation and gravity. These molecular wanderers, the same chemical foundations that enable life on Earth, rain down onto countless worlds, seeding the galaxy with possibility. On Mars, robotic explorers have uncovered tantalizing hints of ancient microbial activity, strange ring-like patterns in Martian rocks, organic compounds preserved in ancient mudstones, mineral formations that on Earth would suggest the presence of life. Each discovery carries the whisper of possibility, yet also the shadow of doubt. Are these the fossilized signatures of Martian consciousness, or merely the echoes of chemistry that learn to mimic life's patterns? The mystery deepens when we consider that consciousness itself might not require biology as we understand it. Some researchers propose that awareness could emerge from any sufficiently complex system, whether built from carbon and water, silicon and electricity, or materials we haven't yet discovered. If this is true, then consciousness might be woven into the very fabric of cosmic evolution, appearing wherever complexity reaches a critical threshold. Imagine the possibility that awareness exists in forms beyond our current comprehension. Perhaps in the swirling storms of gas giant planets, where electrical patterns dance for centuries in atmospheric layers thick as oceans. Perhaps in the magnetic fields of neutron stars, where forces millions of times stronger than Earth's create structures of impossible complexity. Perhaps even in the quantum foam of space itself, where virtual particles flicker in and out of existence in patterns too subtle for our instruments to detect. This perspective transforms our understanding of loneliness. Rather than isolated islands of awareness in a dead universe, we might be part of a vast community of consciousness, each form of awareness experiencing reality through different sensory modalities, different scales of time, different relationships with the physical world. As you rest here in the gentle darkness, consider that your own consciousness might be connected to this cosmic network in ways you've never imagined. The quantum processes in your neurons, the electromagnetic fields generated by your thoughts, might be participating in exchanges of information that span light years, carrying whispers of awareness between worlds. One of the most intimate mysteries surrounding us involves a substance so familiar we barely notice its profound strangeness: water. This simple molecule, composed of just 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, exhibits behaviours that continue to puzzle scientists and hint at hidden depths in the nature of matter itself. You've likely experienced the strange phenomenon known as the Mpemba effect without realising it. Under certain conditions, hot water can freeze faster than cold water, defying our intuitive understanding of heat and cooling. Scientists have observed this paradox for decades, yet they still cannot predict when it will occur or fully explain the mechanisms behind it. The mystery suggests that water possesses a kind of memory, retaining information about its thermal history in ways that influence its future behaviour. Some researchers propose that this memory resides in the hydrogen bonds that link water molecules together, creating temporary structures that persist even as individual molecules move and change partners. This concept of molecular memory extends beyond temperature. Water that has been exposed to different substances, different energies, different environments, seems to retain traces of these experiences in its structure. While controversial, some studies suggest that water can maintain organized patterns long after the forces that created them have disappeared. The implications ripple outward like waves across a still pond. If water can store and transmit information, then every glass you drink carries within it the history of its journey through clouds and rivers, through the bodies of countless creatures, through the endless cycles of Earth's hydrosphere. The water in your cells might be maintaining patterns, sharing information, participating in the web of life in ways that extend far beyond simple chemistry. This mystery connects to larger questions about the nature of information itself. In quantum mechanics, information cannot be destroyed, only transformed. Perhaps water serves as a kind of liquid library, preserving and sharing the quantum information that flows through biological systems, enabling the complex coordination required for life. As you feel your body relaxing, imagine the water within you, comprising more than half of your being, carrying information between cells, maintaining the delicate balance of chemistry that enables your thoughts, your dreams, your gentle drift towards sleep. This water connects you to every ocean, every raindrop, every distant world where similar molecules might be fostering other forms of awareness. As consciousness begins its nightly retreat from the waking world, we encounter one of neuroscience's most enchanting mysteries, the phenomenon of dreaming. Every night, as your brain settles into the rhythms of sleep, it constructs elaborate virtual worlds populated by characters, scenarios, and experiences that can feel as real as waking life. The mystery lies not just in the content of dreams, but in their very existence. Why does the brain expend precious energy during rest to create these complex narratives? Why do dreams often feel more emotionally intense than waking experiences? And how does the sleeping mind manage to construct coherent stories while the usual logic centers of consciousness are offline? Recent research has revealed that dreaming involves a fascinating reorganization of brain activity. The visual cortex becomes hyperactive despite closed eyes, creating the vivid imagery of dream worlds. The emotional centers fire more intensely than during waking hours, explaining why dreams can feel so profoundly moving. Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, responsible for logical thinking and self-awareness, reduces its activity, allowing the impossible to feel perfectly natural. Some scientists propose that dreams serve as a kind of overnight therapy, helping the mind process emotions, consolidate memories, and explore possible futures in a safe virtual environment. Others suggest that dreaming represents the brain's attempt to find patterns in the random neural firing that occurs during sleep, weaving these signals into coherent narratives. But perhaps the deepest mystery lies in the nature of dream consciousness itself. In dreams, you experience a form of awareness that seems both continuous with your waking self and fundamentally different from it. You can observe dream events, make dream decisions, and experience dream emotions, yet you rarely question the bizarre logic of the dream world. This altered state of consciousness might offer clues about the nature of awareness itself. If consciousness can exist in the strange fluid reality of dreams, what does this tell us about the relationship between mind and physical reality? Some researchers propose that dream consciousness might be closer to the quantum nature of reality than our waking awareness, less constrained by the classical physics that governs our everyday experience. As you feel the gentle tug of approaching sleep, consider that you're preparing to enter a laboratory of consciousness, a nightly exploration of what it means to be aware. The dreams that will soon enfold you represent one of the most profound mysteries of human existence, a reminder that consciousness itself remains far stranger than we yet understand. Deep within every cell of your body, quantum processes are unfolding that blur the line between biology and physics, between life and the fundamental forces of the universe. This emerging field of quantum biology reveals that life doesn't just exist within the quantum world, it actively exploits quantum effects to achieve feats that classical physics suggests should be impossible. Consider the miracle of photosynthesis occurring in every green plant around you. When sunlight strikes a leaf, the energy must travel from light-absorbing molecules to reaction centers where it can be converted into chemical energy. Classical physics would predict that this energy transfer should be inefficient, with much of the light's power lost as heat during the journey. Yet plants achieve near-perfect efficiency in this process, converting almost every photon they capture into useful chemical energy. The secret lies in quantum coherence, the ability of energy to exist in multiple states simultaneously, exploring all possible paths through the photosynthetic machinery and automatically selecting the most efficient route. This quantum navigation system operates at warm temperatures and in the noisy environment of living cells, conditions that should destroy quantum effects according to traditional theory. Yet somehow, life has learned to maintain quantum coherence in ways that our most sophisticated quantum computers struggle to achieve. The mystery extends to other biological processes. Birds navigate across thousands of miles using quantum entanglement in their retinas, where pairs of electrons remain connected even when separated, allowing them to literally see Earth's magnetic field. The sense of smell might depend on quantum tunneling, where molecules can pass through energy barriers that should be impassable, enabling our noses to distinguish between substances with identical structures but different quantum vibrations. Even consciousness itself might be quantum in nature. Some researchers propose that the microtubules within neurons, the cellular scaffolding that maintains the shape of brain cells, operate as quantum processors, maintaining coherent states that enable the binding of separate neural processes into unified conscious experience. If true, this suggests that your thoughts, your awareness, your sense of self might be fundamentally quantum phenomena, connected to the same mysterious processes that govern particles at the smallest scales. The observer effect that collapses quantum possibilities into definite reality might be an expression of consciousness itself, making you an active participant in the creation of the universe you experience. As you settle deeper into rest, imagine the quantum dance occurring within every cell, every molecule, every atom of your being. You are not separate from the quantum world, but an expression of it, a localized pattern of consciousness arising from the same mysterious processes that create reality itself. All around you, invisible rivers of magnetic force flow through space, creating fields that extend from the iron core of Earth into the solar wind beyond our atmosphere. These magnetic currents shape the aurora that dance in polar skies, deflect cosmic radiation that would otherwise sterilize our planet, and provide the navigation signals that guide countless creatures across vast distances. Yet the origin and behavior of these magnetic fields remain deeply mysterious. How did Earth generate its magnetic field in the first place? Why do magnetic poles occasionally flip, reversing their polarity in geological time? And how do living creatures sense and navigate by magnetic fields that remain completely invisible to human perception? The mystery begins with the dynamo effect deep within Earth's core, where the motion of molten iron somehow generates the magnetic field that protects us. Scientists can observe this field, measure its fluctuations, and track its slow wandering across the planet's surface, but they cannot predict its future behavior or fully explain the mechanisms that sustain it. This uncertainty carries profound implications for life on Earth. During magnetic pole reversals, which occur every few 100,000 years, Earth's protective magnetic shield weakens dramatically, allowing increased cosmic radiation to reach the surface. Some researchers suggest that these periods of magnetic vulnerability might have influenced the evolution of life, creating stress that drove rapid evolutionary changes. The biological mysteries run even deeper. Many animals, from sea turtles to migratory birds to salmon returning to their spawning grounds, navigate with precision that suggests an intimate awareness of magnetic fields. Yet we don't fully understand how they detect these forces or process magnetic information into navigational decisions. Recent discoveries have revealed magnetic crystals within the cells of various organisms, microscopic compass needles that might serve as biological magnetometers. But how these crystals connect to the nervous system, how magnetic signals become conscious awareness of direction, remains largely unknown. Some researchers propose that quantum effects might be involved, with entangled particles in animal retinas, creating a kind of quantum compass that allows creatures to literally see magnetic fields overlaid on their visual experience of the world. This would mean that many animals inhabit a sensory world far richer than our own, perceiving layers of reality that remain completely hidden from human awareness. As you rest in the embrace of Earth's magnetic field, consider that you too are immersed in these invisible currents. The iron in your blood, forged in ancient stellar furnaces, responds weakly to magnetic forces. Some researchers suggest that humans might retain vestigial magnetic sensitivity, explaining the uncanny ability some people show for navigation or their sensitivity to geomagnetic disturbances. The magnetic mysteries extend far beyond Earth. Throughout the galaxy, magnetic fields thread through interstellar space, guiding the formation of stars and planets, channeling cosmic rays and creating structures that span thousands of light years. These galactic magnetic rivers remain largely invisible to us, yet they play crucial roles in the cosmic processes that made our existence possible. Every second of your life, you are bathed in a shower of particles from space, cosmic messengers that carry information about the most violent processes in the universe. These cosmic rays, mostly high-energy protons, accelerated to nearly the speed of light, constantly rain down through Earth's atmosphere, through the roof above you, through your body itself. Most cosmic rays originate in the shock waves of exploding stars, supernova so powerful they can outshine entire galaxies for months. These stellar death throes accelerate particles to energies millions of times greater than anything we can produce in our most powerful accelerators, creating a rain of cosmic bullets that travels for millions of years before reaching Earth. Yet despite decades of study, scientists cannot fully explain how these particles achieve such tremendous energies, or why some cosmic rays carry energies so extreme they shouldn't be possible according to our current understanding of physics. The most energetic cosmic ray ever detected carried as much energy as a well-thrown baseball, concentrated in a single atomic nucleus smaller than a proton. These ultra-high energy particles present a paradox. Theory predicts that cosmic rays above a certain energy threshold should interact with the cosmic microwave background radiation, losing energy as they travel through space. Yet we observe cosmic rays with energies far beyond this theoretical limit, suggesting either unknown acceleration mechanisms or new physics operating at the highest energy scales. The mystery deepens when we consider that cosmic rays might influence life itself. As these particles cascade through Earth's atmosphere, they create showers of secondary particles that can trigger genetic mutations, influence cloud formation, and potentially affect the evolution of life. Some researchers propose that cosmic ray variations might correlate with mass extinction events, making us all participants in a story that spans from stellar death to biological evolution. Even more intriguingly, cosmic rays might play a role in consciousness itself. As these particles pass through your brain, they occasionally interact with neurons, creating tiny flashes of radiation that could influence neural activity. Some researchers speculate that cosmic ray impacts might contribute to the random quantum processes that some theories propose underlie free will and conscious decision-making. As you drift towards sleep, consider that you are connected to the most distant reaches of the universe through this constant rain of cosmic particles. Each cosmic ray that passes through you carries information about stellar explosions that occurred before Earth formed, about magnetic fields that stretch across the galaxy, about high-energy processes that push the boundaries of known physics. You are not separate from the cosmos, but part of an ongoing conversation between matter and energy that spans billions of years and countless light years. The very atoms that compose your thoughts were once part of distant stars, and those stars continue to touch you through the cosmic ray, messengers they send across space and time. In the gentle darkness of approaching sleep, imagine yourself as part of this vast cosmic symphony, where stellar explosions create the rhythms, magnetic fields provide the harmonies, and consciousness adds the melody that makes the music meaningful. The mysteries that surround us whisper of connections deeper than we yet understand, relationships that bind us to the furthest reaches of space and the deepest levels of reality. The exploration continues, carrying us toward revelations about time itself, about the nature of existence, and about the profound questions that arise when we consider our place in the magnificent, mysterious universe that cradles us like a cosmic lullaby. As the boundaries of waking consciousness begin to soften, we enter one of the most fascinating territories in all of science: the relationship between time and the sleeping mind. When you close your eyes tonight and surrender to rest, you will experience something that neuroscience still cannot fully explain. Your brain will alter its fundamental relationship with time itself, creating experiences that unfold in minutes yet feel like hours, or compress entire lifetimes into the span of a single dream. Consider this gentle paradox. During REM sleep, your brain becomes more active than during many waking hours, yet you lose almost all awareness of the passage of time. Minutes expand into subjective hours as your mind constructs elaborate narratives, complete with character development, plot twists, and emotional arcs that would take screenwriters months to craft. How does a sleeping brain, supposedly at rest, become such a masterful storyteller? The mystery deepens when we examine the neuroscience of temporal perception during sleep. The suprachiasmatic nucleus, your brain's master clock, continues its steady rhythm, marking the passage of seconds and minutes with cellular precision. Yet the conscious experience of time becomes fluid, elastic, sometimes seeming to flow backward as dreams weave past and future into impossible present moments. Recent studies using brain imaging technology have revealed that during sleep, the networks responsible for time perception reorganize themselves in ways that mirror certain altered states of consciousness. The same neural circuits that help you estimate duration, sequence events, and maintain temporal continuity during waking hours enter a kind of quantum superposition, allowing multiple temporal experiences to exist simultaneously. This temporal flexibility might serve a deeper purpose than simple rest. Some researchers propose that the brain's altered relationship with time during sleep allows for a kind of temporal housekeeping, reorganizing memories not just by content, but by their position in the stream of personal history. Dreams might be your mind's way of experimenting with different temporal arrangements, testing how past experiences might inform future possibilities. As you feel the gentle tug of approaching sleep, imagine your brain preparing for this nightly journey through time. The neural networks that anchor you to the present moment are beginning to relax their grip, allowing consciousness to drift freely through the temporal landscape of memory, imagination, and possibility. Within the soft curves of your brain lies a mystery that bridges mathematics and consciousness. The geometric patterns that thoughts create as they flow through neural networks. Modern neuroscience has revealed that thinking itself follows geometric principles, creating structures in the brain that exist in dimensions beyond our everyday experience of space. When you form a memory, contemplate an idea, or solve a problem, your neurons don't simply fire in random patterns. Instead, they create what mathematicians call high-dimensional geometric objects, structures that exist in spaces with hundreds or even thousands of dimensions. These neural geometries shape how thoughts connect, how memories link to emotions, and how new ideas emerge from the intersection of existing knowledge. Imagine your brain as a vast library where books are arranged not on shelves, but in a multi-dimensional space where proximity indicates conceptual similarity. When you think of a childhood memory, your neural activity creates a geometric pattern that exists near other childhood experiences, emotional states, and sensory associations. The shape of this pattern determines what other thoughts might arise, what emotions might surface, what connections might spark. This geometric perspective on consciousness reveals something profound about the nature of thought itself. Ideas don't exist as isolated entities but as points in a vast conceptual space, connected by paths that your brain navigates with mathematical precision. The experience of having a sudden insight, that moment when disparate concepts suddenly click together, corresponds to your neural activity discovering a new path through this high-dimensional landscape. Recent research has shown that different types of thinking create distinct geometric signatures. Creative thinking tends to explore broader regions of neural space, making connections across distant conceptual territories. Analytical thinking follows more constrained paths, moving through logical sequences with geometric precision. Meditative states create patterns that seem to simplify the complexity of neural space, finding low-dimensional structures within the chaos of everyday thought. As your mind settles towards sleep, these geometric patterns begin to shift and flow in new ways. The constraints that keep waking thoughts organized start to dissolve, allowing neural activity to explore regions of conceptual space that remain inaccessible during normal consciousness. This geometric freedom might explain why sleep and dreams can produce creative insights that elude our waking minds. Every moment of your existence unfolds through conversations you cannot hear, messages passed between the trillions of cells that compose your body. These cellular communications represent one of biology's most elegant mysteries. How individual cells, each following simple chemical rules, coordinate their activities to create the complex symphony of life. And so our gentle journey through 100 mysteries comes to its peaceful close. We have wandered together through the vast questions that dance at the edges of human understanding, from the dark matter that shapes galaxies to the quantum whispers within our own consciousness. Each mystery we've explored tonight represents not an ending, but a beginning, an invitation to marvel at the profound depths that still await discovery. As you drift now towards sleep, carry with you the wonder of all we've touched upon. The very atoms that compose your thoughts were forged in stellar furnaces. The water in your cells carries memories of ancient rains, and the neural patterns settling into rest participate in geometric dances we're only beginning to comprehend. You exist within an ocean of mystery, connected to cosmic processes and quantum realms in ways that science continues to unveil. Let these mysteries be your companions in the darkness, reminding you that the universe remains far stranger and more beautiful than we yet understand. In the space between sleeping and waking, between the known and unknown, may you find the same sense of wonder that drives humanity's eternal quest to explore, to question, and to discover. Sweet dreams, fellow travelers, in this magnificent cosmic mystery,